Now joining us to help make sense of this, legal practitioner Tunji Abdulhameed is with us this evening. Mr. Abdulhameed, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome. Now, what is your take on the latest development at the Lagos State House of Assembly, as we have just seen?
Yeah, the development in Lagos State Assembly is a new phase in the politics of Lagos State. Lagos State being a state that has been controlled by one party in the last 20 years, and it's been a state that people believe that no disagreement will happen regarding who becomes this, who becomes that. But we are seeing that now. So it's a new phase, and I see it as a struggle for the leadership of a political party in Lagos State. Bearing in mind that the president will do it probably, in quotes, if you give an opportunity, will do a second term, and probably after the second term, may not be interested in controlling having the stronghold of the Lagos State. People are positioning themselves to ensure that, look, I am not left out of this situation. Because once you are, as Obasa as speaker, he has a lot of benefits, and that will make him more relevant in the politics of Lagos State. Living as a speaker and becoming an ordinary member of the House will not help him achieve his political ambition and political position. I think that what is playing out is just a mere, it's a new phase, and it is a consequence of lack of obedience to rule of law. When you do things not in line with the rule of law, we are bound to see this kind of a thing. We like to do things by force, and it appears our democracy in Nigeria today now, those people with force are those who can have the opportunity to do whatever they want to do.
Now, by force, when you say do things without the rule of law and the reference to force, are you referring to who now? The legislator who sort of impeached the speaker, or the speaker himself? Let's be clear on that.
No, the lack of obedience to rule of law, based on the fact and that we have been hearing, probably the assembly that removed Obasa probably did not do the right thing.
Okay.
In terms of in quotes, because we are told that at the time that sitting there was aired to remove him, the House was on recess. And if the House is on recess, there are procedures to bring the House back, and the Speaker must be aware of that process. From what we are hearing, the Obasa appear not to be aware of that situation. So his argument is that the process will not follow. The force here is Obasa has to do with Obasa coming back to the House by force, and that is because he has the support of the security agencies. Security agencies, without security agencies, he will not be able to come on his own.
So let's talk about that now, Mr. Abdulhameed. Let's talk about that regarding the security agency with him as he came back to the House today. Is there any constitutional provision that allowed him to use police force to re-enter the assembly complex after being removed from office?
That's one of the force I'm talking about. There is nothing. There is no law that allow anybody to use police force to do anything. In fact, if you want to enforce judgment of court, you cannot directly use police to enforce it. Just like what is happening in Ousted State, it's illegal. Police have no power to enforce judgment of court or order of court. And in this case, there's no order of court. There's nothing. So I don't know why they're bearing in mind that we know that the speaker, as of today, as of this morning, is a Meranda, whether legally or illegally. Whether I'm not saying that's not to say is correct or not, but we have been told that she was appointed by the majority of members. So if the process is being challenged, Obasa has gone to court and he has done the right thing. Then he does not want to wait for the court because it appears the court is getting slowing down the process. So that's why I said use of force. Now that he has come by force, with the support of the military and security agencies, he's now taking over the assembly on his own, and those people cannot do anything. So it's unfortunate that we're not playing politics in Nigeria. We're not doing democracy in Nigeria. We are playing. When people talk about politics is a dirty game in Nigeria, I say no. It is not the politics that is dirty. It is the people that are playing it that are dirty.
So in the event of an ousted speaker like Obasa here who disputes the removal process, what legal recourse is available for him to challenge the decision? Now, you've said that he went to court, but perhaps the court are too slow. So, I mean, it's a bit of a confusing situation if the opportunity is there for him to use legal recourse, but he's throwing that to one side. What's your take on that?
There's nothing confusing here. It's only that because we like to take law into our hands and do things in our own way, rather than do it in line with the law. The members of the House of Assembly fail to follow the law. He himself has also not now joined them in doing things the way he will achieve his own result. He believes that if he decides to do what he's doing now, he may get result, and it appears so. So for me, and that's why I say the rule of force sometimes pays off in Nigeria. When you can do things by force, people will clap for you and then they will even appreciate you. That's the way it is. For me, it's all about lack of the obedience to rule of law. We disrespect rule of law in Nigeria. We don't like following. We don't like to follow due process. When you do the wrong, two wrongs cannot make it right. He is claiming that they are wrong, but he's also going about recovering his position in the wrong way. You cannot. According to him, he's saying he was never removed. That is the position. Was never removed. That what they did was the kangaroo or illegal. It's like what is happening in Rivers State today. You can see what now we have probably 2 speakers in Lagos State.
Do you think that is all he has to go on? The fact that the rule of law was not followed, so that emboldens him to do what he's doing now? Or do you think he has other sorts of perhaps maybe backings?
Of course. You cannot have that kind of support when you don't have people who are powerful behind you. Well, how will he get the support of the police and the security agencies without the power that be? You know, in Lagos State is a special state. We know the leader. The leader is there. The president of the country today is the leader of politics in Lagos State. And whatever that must happen in Lagos State, it must be with his consent. So for me, nobody would, for me to believe that the president is not aware of what is happening in Lagos State today, it would be a surprise to me, and it would be a surprise to me. I'm very sure Obasa had the support of those power that be in Lagos State, and that's why he's doing what he's doing.
Well, Mr. Abdulhameed, thank you very much for giving us your opinion.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Welcome.